Looking to start training or to power level those mounts? Welcome back to the channel all about life skilling in Black Desert. My name is Teddy, and it's been a while since I took a look at training, but with all of the new updates to life skilling and training in general, today we're going down everything you'll need to know about training. This guide won't be focusing on min-maxing horse breeding or trying to get those best horse stats. This is mainly to get you started with training or some tips and tricks to help out those already training. If you're a casual life skiller like me and you find this helpful, be sure to leave a like, and let's just jump right in. Mounts are extremely important, and when it comes to training, it's one of the most complex life skills we have in Black Desert, with all of the different aspects you'll have to learn just in order to min-max. But don't worry, you can level training, breed horses, and even start collecting those dreams as a casual player. To make this simple enough for any beginner, as you ride a mount, it earns experience to level up while it moves. When it levels up, you're awarded a little training experience, the horse earns a little more stats, and once the horse is at a certain level, they can either be bred for a chance at a higher tier horse, sold on a horse market, or Imperial horse delivered for silver, training horse materials, and lastly, golden horse seals. The higher your training level, the higher the chances a mount will learn a skill when leveling up, the higher movement speed when leveling, and the silver collected from horse and breeding markets. Mastery, however, determines how easy it is to capture wild horses, with higher mastery increasing it, higher mount experience, and lastly, more mastery to increase the chances of getting the higher tier horses when horse breeding or horse exchanging. So now let's talk about how to get the different mounts. The easiest horse you can get is during the Balino storyline or the start of whichever starting path you choose. We're given one T6 horse emblem from the Black Spirit, or just speaking to it, which can be registered at any stable. After the free horse, we can find wild horses around certain areas. I highly suggest taking a look at the horse taming section on blackdesertfoundry.com to see all the areas. A link will be down in the description below, but two great areas are near Glish and Duvenkroon, with just how close the horses are to town. Once a horse is found, you can use a capturing rope on it, which can be bought from any stable vendor. The minigame is made extremely simple, with just having to keep the bar from hitting the left until you move closer. After you move close enough, a lump of sugar can be made to increase the capture rate chance, and you can jump on. Newly captured horses can be registered at any stable, and with the recent update, horses can now be registered at any wagon to speed up the process. Horses can be bought off the horse market at any stable, 10 Radiant Shakatu seals, and others can be given out during events like the 2 free dreams or the 1 free mythical horse already handed out, so keep your eyes peeled for any new events to log in and claim your free mount before you lose the chance. Donkeys can also be bought at any stable vendor, which the Shy has a slight training experience bonus when leveling up a donkey. These are slower than horses and can quickly get overshadowed. The light and dark brown camels can be bought using the golden horse seals earned from the Imperial horse deliveries. A free light brown camel can be earned from the Camel Desert Companion questline found in the suggested tab of the quest log 2. Next, we have the mini elephants that can only be obtained from the Baby Elephant Steps quest chain found in the suggested tab of the quest log. Lastly, we have the wagons. On their own, these won't do anything, but attaching horses to them, however, allows you to level up to 4 horses at one time, with the shabby wagon being the worst and the forest path wagon being the best wagon. These can all be made using the wagon workshop or can be bought off the central market. With so many gear options, let's make this a little less complicated. For those just starting out with training, the training clothes from the luxury vendor is a perfect option. This comes with plus 10% training experience, which we earn from capturing, plus 15% mount experience for leveling mounts, plus 15% horse capture rate, and lastly, a nice plus 15 mount skill experience to train those skills up to 100. Next up are the Fine Horse Trainer Clothes, a perfect fit for those leveling mounts, only having movement speed and mount experience. The Fine Horse Trainer Clothes comes with plus 7% mount experience at base and plus 40% at plus 5. The Fine Horse Trainer Clothes can be obtained either by using the golden horse seals from Imperial Horse Deliveries or can be bought off the central market. Finally are the mastery sets like Logia, Azaro, and Manos. These are great for leveling training and horse breeding if your mastery is at 1200 or above. Logia provides the same life experience bonus as the trainer clothes, with Logia being the easiest to get and enhance. Azaro is a little more expensive and harder to tap. Finally, we have Manos being the hardest to get and enhance. All the green and blue grade mastery gear can be obtained from Zarya here in Velia, the central market, or Manos can be bought using the golden seals or bought off the central market. Now we have the two costumes we can choose from. The easiest costume to get is going to be the trainer's clothes made into a costume. These come with the same bonuses as the trainer clothes, and these can be worn with the original trainer clothes as gear, making this a good option for anyone starting out. The trainer clothes can be made into a costume using the equipment tailoring coupon, which can be bought from the Pearl Shop or the Central Market, and by completing the Trader Family quest line. The other costume we have is the Vanilla Riding Apparel. Unfortunately, these can only be bought from the Pearl Shop, but come with huge bonuses for mount training. For wearing the chest, we get plus 20 mount experience, and the hat gives another plus 15, while wearing the whole set gives another plus 15% for a total of 50% mount experience for just the costume. After the clothes, we have the accessories, and this is by far the easiest choices to make with training. Like with the clothes, Trilogia is going to be the easiest to enhance or buy off the Central Market. Trigarana personally is a waste, but is the next step up. Then we have Pre-owned. I suggest only getting up to Tri Manas to exchange for a base Pre-owned. Even just having the base Pre-owned will give an added plus 5 life experience for every 2 worn. Logia and Garana can only be bought from a vendor or off the Central Market, while manas can either be crafted or bought off the Central Market, the Shakatu seals, and the pre-owned can only be made by exchanging tri or higher manas accessories at any Liana in any major city. With the accessories covered, riding crops are a tool that we get for training, and for this we get Logia, Azaro, and Manas. These crops all increase training mastery, max horse speed, max horse auto run speed, both the max speed and auto run speeds for the wagons, and lastly, the forest path wagon sprint gets increased. Like with Mastery Gear, Trilogia is going to be the cheapest and easiest to get, Azaro the next step up, and lastly, you have Manas. Logia and Azaro can be bought from Zarya here in Velia or from the Central Market, while Manas can only be crafted, the Golden Horse Seals, or bought off the Central Market. The next item on the list is the Caphras Journal of Nature. This is a permanent plus 10% life experience and can be worn like gear. This can be earned from completing the Caphras record in the Adventure Log bookshelf. A link will be down in the description for those still needing it, since it's a long quest line, but well worth it. While we don't have a backpack yet for training, Little Otter's fishing carrier has one feature we can use while training. Ignoring the fishing mastery and experience, this comes with 10% durability reduction resistance, which reduces the need to stop and repair horse or wagon gear as much. The carrier can only be bought from the Pearl Shop, unfortunately. Onto our Alchemy Stones. The Trance here is great for those trying to level training while having plus 30% life experience, and it's repairable. The stone can be acquired from the Season 101 questline in the suggested tab of the quest log. These cannot be bought or obtained again, so if you happen to sell it or toss it out, the trance here can never be gotten again. Next, we have the Stella Spirit Stone. Using this stone will give plus 100 mastery for 10 minutes. These stones can only be bought from the little tea shop or given out during events, so these stones should be saved for active training like capturing horses to power level training, or for when you're trying to reach a higher bracket for breeding. The Stella's Life Stones sadly cannot be repaired, so once they're used up, they'll have to be tossed out. Our last stone for training is going to be the Khan's Heart. While providing nothing for using the stone, wearing it, however, gives a nice plus 25 mastery passively. This makes it perfect for popping either the Stella or the Treants for their buff, then switching to the Khans for the plus 25 mastery on top of it. This stone might be a little bit harder, either getting from crafting, given out rarely during events, or can be bought off the Central Market. Like the Tranced here, this stone can be repaired, making it a perma increase to mastery. Now, we have to talk about the artifacts and the Lightstone combinations for trading. The basic artifacts are perfectly fine to use and might be the easiest to get just from doing just about anything in life skilling, but only comes with plus 3% experience for the life experience and plus 7 mastery for the life mastery artifacts. The better training artifacts have a couple options, however. For these, we have a choice between mount experience, which gives plus 3% mount experience for each. Training experience artifacts gives plus 5% training experience for each. And the training mastery artifacts have a plus 10 training mastery for each used. Unfortunately, these can only be obtained randomly from Imperial Deliveries. As for the Lightstones and the combinations, there are so many good options to choose. I'll make this easier and only mention a few good ones. For training experience, the Lucky Crop combo is a nice one to start out with, giving plus 16% training experience and can be made using 3 Gallop Floral Lightstones and 1 Iridescent. For those wanting a mix of mastery, training, and mount experience, we have Into the Sunset combo, giving plus 15% mount experience, plus 10% training experience, and plus 20 training mastery. Making this combo requires 2 Gallop and 1 Steed Floral Lightstone with the 1 Iridescent Lightstone. If you're looking to power level those mounts, we have Horses Over Flowers providing plus 25 mount experience, which adds up and shouldn't be ignored. Making this needs 2 Steed and 1 Gallop Lightstone this time, and the 1 Iridescent. This last combination is a special one for those looking to power level training faster. The Choice and Focus training combination comes with plus 35% training experience, but lowers mastery by 500. Making this will need 2 Gallop Floral Lightstones, 1 Mind Wind Lightstone, and the 1 Iridescent Lightstone. Getting all the Lightstones needed can either be done by purifying imperfects using Guru Alchemy, Dalashin using silver, or can be bought off the central market. Crystals have to be the easiest to choose between only having 2 presets. Do you want more experience or do you need more mastery? When it comes to life skilling, we basically have 3 options to choose from. The Dim Magic Crystal Life with plus 3 life experience and a limit of 6 can be used at once. The Life Crystal with plus 5% life experience and has no limit. Or the Vital Crystal that gives plus 10 mastery with no limit on the groups. Using a full experience preset provides plus 80 life experience, while using a full preset of Vital gives plus 160 mastery if all the crystal slots are unlocked. Dim crystals can be bought off the central market or given out in the challenge tab, while the Vital or Life crystals can be crafted using the Forest crystals or bought off the central market. Moving on to pets, we have 2 to choose from. The first choice of pets we have are any of the normal life pets that have the plus 1% life experience at base and plus 5% at T5. There is a small chance of a pet learning the plus 5% training experience skill too. Any of these pets can be used, with all of them having the chance to learn the skill. Life skill pets can be obtained from quests, given out during events, bought from the Pearl Shop, or can be bought from the central market. But there's a better option that we can use, which is going to be the Hate training pet. This little guy is the best pet for training, giving plus 1% mount experience at base and plus 5 at T5, which can also learn the training skill for even more training experience. The Hate can be bought from the Pearl Shop, the central market, and sometimes given out during rare horse events. After all the gear and pets, we can further increase our experience or mastery with certain buffs. For food, the Stonetail Winds Meal has plus 10% mount experience, plus 20 training experience, and plus 25 to mastery for 8 hours. Making this can only be done by exchanging the Old Moon Grand Prix coins, the Imperial Horse Seals, given out during events, and lastly, can be bought off the central market. For elixirs, we have the Celerity Drafts. The basic Celerity Drafts give plus 15 mount experience, plus 20% training experience, and plus 3 to movement speed for 3 hours. The Unbridled extends the time for 6 hours, and the Fiery might be the most expensive, but has plus 30% mount experience and plus 30% training experience for 8 hours. The Celerity and Unbridled Celerity can be made using Alchemy, while the Fiery can only be made using the Stonetail Tonic with the Horse Seals, or can be bought off the central market and given out during events. Now for the scrolls and books, one of the best scrolls we have is with the Corsair's Aura, which gives plus 30% mount experience, plus 30% training experience, and plus 30 mastery for 4 hours and stacks with everything. Getting this can be done from the Imperial Horse Delivery during events or in the Pearl Shop. Next, we have the extra mount experience scrolls. These can range from plus 20% for 1 hour to 10 hours depending on the scroll used. These are usually given out during events and sometimes in the Pearl Shop. Only one version of the 1 hour and 10 hour scrolls can be used at the same time, with both 1 hour and 10 hour being able to be used at the same time. The Secret Book of Florin and the Gia Van Grolen scrolls are another great option for those wanting more experience and mastery. Both book and scroll comes with plus 20% life experience and 102 mastery to all life skills for an hour. While the book is a little harder to get while having a crafting limit or can be given out during events, the Gia Van Grolen scroll, however, is only given out during season graduations and during events. Fortunately, however, both scrolls can be used at the same time. Extra life experience scrolls can be used in place of mount experience scrolls, giving plus 50% life experience for an hour, but share the same rarity and can't be used at the same time as the mount scrolls. This is usually given out during events and can be bought from the Pearl Shop sometimes. The next buff on the list is the Laura's Warm Black Tea. This is amazing, giving plus 50% mount experience and plus 30% life experience for 3 hours, and is a little easier to come by from the Black Spirit Adventure or is given out during events a lot. The Mercenary's Life Scroll is an easy go-to, with one being given out every day for logging in. These can either be used for the plus 50% life experience for an hour, or 3 can be combined to increase the experience up to 150% for the same hour. Mercenary Scrolls can be used with the other scrolls, making it a perfect buff to pop. The last buff on the list is going to be the Turning Gates Villa buff found around Valencia, like the Carashu's Villa here, or can be bought from the Nefart tent, which can only be bought from the Pearl Shop. This will last 4 hours, but offers a nice plus 10% life experience. Other event buffs can be used, but with how rare they are given out, and some of them having an expiration date, I suggest stocking up any buffs that you can for any long training sessions. Not only do we have to gear ourselves and buff ourselves, but our mount can also wear gear and costumes. All the horse, donkey, and camel gear luckily follows a progression. White grades are the worst and can be bought from the stable shop or bought off the central market. Storm gear is slightly better and is able to be crafted from the Black Spirit Adventure or bought off the central market. Then the step up is Granveer. Making Granveer can be done at the Horse Gear Workshop in the Stonetail Horse Ranch or bought off the central market. Lastly, we have the best in slot Krogdalo horse gear and donkey gear. These 4 sets have the best stats for your horses, and your donkey set comes with a buff adding life experience for the more pieces worn. These can be crafted in the same horse gear workshop or can be bought off the central market. Elephants get their own set of gear, which can also be made here at the horse gear workshop or can be bought off the central market. Even our wagons get gear, which can be made from the Gear Part Workshop. Each have their own set, which increases the stats more. And if you're using a wagon, these are a must. Parts can also be bought off the central market too, if they're available. All the costumes for the mounts and even the wagons are the same, increasing each stat while also increasing other bonuses, like with the horse gear increasing the chances of learning a skill, movement speed, or like with the wagons, item destruction chance reduction, just to name a few bonuses. Horses, camels, donkey, and wagons all have a costume you can buy with pearls. Unfortunately, wagon costumes cannot be bought off the central market, while horse, camel, and donkey gear can be. Now, we did get a new horse detail UI to try showing some useful information if it is correct. This can be done hitting the horse detail from the life tab in the menus, or while riding a horse, you can click the view stat details option. In the stables, this UI can be brought up by hitting the probability option at the bottom, while on a wagon, this can only be done by hitting the option on the menu, since technically you're on a wagon, not a horse. In here has your horse info tab containing things like HP, weight, stamina, and movement speed that was inherited, and what it currently is, not to mention the max these stats could be. Under the movement, you have speed, brake, turn, and excel, all having a grade next to each to show how good these are, with C being the worst and S being the best. The gear and outfits worn doesn't affect the tab here, and a lot of times that grading is wrong. On the side has the list of skills that the horse has learned and can learn, with the chances under each skill to help with Corsair training. We can also change the horse you're looking at by selecting the breed icon next to the current horse. The next tab is the growth calculator. At first, this can be daunting with all the numbers, but let me make this a little simpler for you. In here, you're able to see all the stats your horse has a chance to learn with the min-max range when your horse levels up. These details can be changed using the mount level option to change the mount's level. Changing the training mastery level shows the different levels that the chances of getting the stats and skills can be. Next, we have the mount brand option that shows the 10% increase of learning the skills, and lastly, the mount gear option showing another 10% to the skills. The last tab here we have is the breeding and exchange tab. In here is a tad bit different. We can choose the 2 different horses by hitting the plus signs on each box, and above asks to input your mastery. Under the horses are their levels, which can be changed up to level 30, and all the skills that the horses have learned so far. Once the horses are inserted, a list of horses are displayed showing a chance of the gender, tier, and coat style. Changing mastery, mount level, and even the tier can affect the chances. I suggest taking a look at this window and play around with the options. Now, I know you must be itching to start leveling training with everything ready, so let's hop on a horse and see the different ways we can start power leveling training mounts or just those mount skills. The fastest way to power level training is going to be just by going out and capturing wild horses and sell them until you hit Guru. The next method can be done with just riding the horse. Just training a horse to level 30 to breed earns a lot of money at the cost of time. To speed up how quickly horses can be trained, the forest path wagon can be used, able to harness 4 horses at once, and can sprint. The last way to power level training is with using a shy to ride a donkey. While using a shy and a donkey, we get a slight bonus to training experience each time the donkey levels up. The best method to doing this is just to buy the cheapest donkey emblem from a stable keeper and level it up to level 6 or 7, then sell it and start again. There is no money to be made this way and only works for a shy. There's more that comes to training, like with the horse skills a horse can learn, which can speed up the experience earned or even the money that can be made. The most important skills that a horse can learn have a horse head icon in front indicating that these are Corsair skills. When a horse learns all the skills and is labeled a Corsair, not only does the price of the horse increase and when Imperial delivering, but if a T8 horse becomes a Corsair, it can be awakened into a dream horse, then further into a mythical horse. There's a few ways to quickly level up skills, with the first way being the standard, just perform the skill. Wearing the trainer clothes is perfect for this, but it's slower and the skill can fail throwing you off the horse, but it is the cheapest method. The next way is to use the mount skill coupons by hitting the mount skill option in the stables. These are given out during horse events or from the Pearl shop, like the mount skill change coupon that can reset one skill and randomly teaches a different skill. The mount skill selection that lets you choose one skill to learn. The mount skill training that lets you choose a skill to completely learn. And the all mount skill training coupon that trains all skills up to 100. These coupons are also given out during the Leap training quest from the quest log in the suggested tab. Skills also have a chance to be learned while using the premium horse appearance change coupons at random, but can only be bought from the Pearl shop and given out during events or during the Leap training quest from the quest log in the suggested tab. And the last item to take a look at is the Mount Brandstones. These can only be bought from the Pro Shop, but have a ton of bonuses for training a horse. Branding a horse will consume a stone, but the horse will have 30% less energy recovery cost. Recovering costs are reduced to only 1k. Branding decreases the durability reduction of mount gear worn by 50%, and it increases the chances of learning a skill by 10% each time it levels up. And remember to have those horse feeds on hand like carrot juice, or the carrot confit. Carrots are able to be farmed while the juice and confit can be made using cooking, or all of these can be bought off the central market. If the horses you level don't get the skills wanted or the stats you're looking for, the mount growth reset potions can be used by hitting the mount reset option on the mount you wish at the stables. This resets everything including all the skills learned, while using the level down option uses a level down coupon to lower the horses one level and forgets everything learned in that level including the skill, stats, and any skills learned with coupons. Both the growth reset and the level down coupon can only be bought from the Pearl shop. After all the training and worrying about the skills, it's time to put it all to good use with breeding the horses together for higher tiered horses. Not to get confused with a horse exchanging where you exchange a male and a female you don't like for a random new one but destroys both parents. With breeding, it's complicated to say the least, so to keep this simple for the newer players or those just wanting to jump straight into breeding can be started at the stables using 2 horses, either tier 6 to tier 8 at level 15 or higher to get the same tier horse, or a higher one depending on the level they are or your training mastery. At level 30, a horse has the highest chance to breed a higher tier, with mastery further increasing this. To start breeding, a male horse first has to be registered to the horse breeding market and selecting Show Only Me. This lets you choose only your horse to breed with. Choosing Show All throws it in the general breeding market where another player can breed their female with your male. Selecting breeding in the stable shows you the male horses from all the other players we can breed at the cost that rises with the better Corsairs. Next is all the horses we have registered with the options to cancel or collect them after they're done breeding. Lastly, we have your horse list to choose the horses to breed with the costs. Breeding will take 3 hours and will need at least 2 extra slots for the results. After the horses are done, the new horses can be collected by selecting the female that's done and hitting complete where it shows the gender, coat, and you can name it. Both the male and female horses can have their breeding limit reset too, just by using the breed reset option, but requires another pearl item, the male or female breed reset potions. These can also be obtained from quests or given out during events. For those lucky enough while breeding, there's a chance to obtain an additional horse known as the Imperial Steed. This is a completely different horse that can only be leveled up to 15, has no tier, but comes with a higher value when Imperial delivering, and a chest full of training materials used to get those T9s and T10s. So, after you're done breeding, and the horse has no more breeding attempts, or when the Imperial Steed hit level 15, it's time to start trading them in. There's two ways that we can do this, with Imperial Delivering being my go-to for a couple reasons. When delivering a horse, we're awarded silver, flowers of oblivion, and golden horse seals. The higher the horse's level, the tier, and even if the horse is a corsair or not, can increase the amount of silver collected from the turn-in. All the horses from T6 to T9 dream horses can be turned in. The better horse for this will be the Imperial Steed, being an additional horse with being able to get the Royal Stature box. There's also one hidden item that will please anyone who enjoys wagon training. While trading any T6 and T8 horse or the dream horses has a chance to drop the new item called Twighlite Fragment, while Imperial Steeds have a very low chance of obtaining the new Lumen Trace item. When 4 Twighlite are combined, around 1 Lumen Trace creates a new training treasure item, the Remitaronsom's Lumaloft Lamp, or the Lumalamp for short. When the Lumalamp is equipped onto a forest path wagon, this acts like a floating lamp while constantly recovering durability loss on the forest path wagon parts. If the lamp isn't your thing and want to try for the most money you can get, the horse market might be your thing. The horse market is very simple. You're able to list horses to sell to other players. The higher the tier, the more skills, and if it's a corsair or not, can increase the amount of silver a horse can be listed for, and the higher your mastery, the more money you can collect after the sale. Once you get a T8 Corsair, other than selling the horse for a lot of money on the horse market or delivering it for the seals, we can awaken it to a T9 or the Dream Horse. To do this, we'll have to take the horse to a stable like the Stonetail Horse Ranch and hit the Corsair training option. In here, there's 3 options to choose. Skill training is used for the Ardenaut, requiring the Stonetail fodder from farming byproducts, Rainbow Gem fruits from Golden Horse Seals, or the Fruit of Yarnos from Corsair training boxes or events. Elegance training is for the Dine-needing spirit pouches from hunting, Breezy conches from fishing, or the Mysterious conch from Corsair training boxes. Lastly, we have strength training for the Doom. The roots can be found from gathering, forest breath from mob grinding, and the fire flowers from the same Corsair boxes. All the materials can also be bought from the central market and are given out during events. Each green gives plus 1%, and the blue gives plus 2%. You'll need a total of 200% just to do 1 awakening attempt, and the Krogdalo Origin Stones, which can be made by combining both the wind and earth shards found from mob grinding, Artanis elements, or from the horse seals. Each fail will use up the full attempt, with 100 crons being able to save at least half the attempt. Will increase the chances by 0.2%, and we do have the Agris Essence for the Dream Horse's Awakening. So even if you keep failing, you can still get one with the pity tap. Dream Awakening is more straightforward, with just needing a level 30 male and female dream and the mythical sensor. There's 3 different ways to make the sensor, all needing the Old Moon sensor mold from the Old Moon NPC. The first method requires 100 pure platinum, copper, and tin crystals with 100 moonlight opals. Method 2 requires 25 Melody of the Stars from melting down Pride to Try accessories listed in the tooltip, 100 pure copper and tin crystals, and lastly 300 magical lightstone crystals from exchanging lightstones to Liana. The last way is using the 300 magical lightstone crystals, 400 Old Moon Alchemy Catalyst, 400 Old Moon Alchemy Catalyst bought from the Old Moon vendor, and 1,000 copper and tin ingots. With the Old Moon sensor made, it then can be combined with 10 mythical feathers found from quests, gathering Lucario, turning in fairies, horse racing, hunting Rara, Worldfield, and Dark Rift bosses, or these are given out during events, 10 mythical powders, which are made by grinding 10 of the flowers of oblivion, royal fern root, everlasting herb, fruit of nature, and the blackstone powders. Finally, the feathers and powders can be combined with 10 fire horns from hunting and 10 powder of flame. games. With the sensor ready, each T10 attempt starts with 3% success rate, with each fail adding 0.2% and will consume both parents on awakening, but gives a new level 1 mythical horse. Mythical horses also get the Agris essence, so even 30 fails can get a T10 now. To help you figure out which horse is best for you, Dooms are good at combat, Arties are great at AFK traveling, and Dines are perfect for traveling out in the desert. The mythical Dooms are faster while active riding, but have the slowest AFK travel. Mythic Arties have the best AFK travel time and can fly, while the mythical Dine has water walking, can run in the desert, and has the best defense while providing healing for the party. As for the newly introduced Valterion Dream Horse, these can only be obtained by turning in 300 traces of Thunderbolt. To get these, you can either win or lose the War of Roses, Conquest War, Node War Unlimited, doing the Black Shrine Party Disposed Crown Prince on hard, and lastly, the Black Shrine Solo Calamity 8 to 10. Those lucky enough to get one of each T10 mythical horse can now unlock the quest to get the new Krogdalo Sanctuary. While mounted on any of the 3 mythical horses, you can travel to Mirandora in Grana to accept the Krogdalo Sanctuary questline. After showing each of the 3 T10 horses to Mirandora, you can now talk to the Krogdalo's Trace and obtain the new Krogdalo Sanctuary. Not only do you get the Celestial Pathfinder title, but you now have the ability to go ahead and summon each of the 3 mythical horses at your own leisure instead of having to travel to a stable. Getting this will be costly and will take some time, but it is worth it for those who enjoy any of the T10s. Like with all the other life skills, we have dailies, weeklies, and one-time quests to help with all aspects of training, starting with the Leap Training Guru quest. Each quest in the chain requires a higher level of training, but also provides a huge amount of training experience on completion. These quests are easy with just taming horses and handing in carrot confit, so these quests should be done as soon as you hit the training level required. These can be found in the quest log under the suggested tab. The next set of quests are the Honor to the Training Family. This is an easy quest line that has you talking to NPCs, but it does require the Leap Training Guru quest to be completed. This offers nice rewards like the contribution experience, mount skill change coupons, and even the mythical sensor, for example. These are also in the suggested tab of your quest log. Lastly, we have the Liana daily and weekly training quests. There are 2 dailies, with the first one wanting a wild horse to be registered at a stable or a wagon and gives training experience and some Corsair training materials. The second daily just wants us to catch a wild horse, gives us training experience and royal ferns for crafting the mythical sensor. And the weekly is the same, needing a wild horse to be caught, but offers us contribution and training experience, royal ferns, and your choice between gold bars or the Flamoros petals for crafting the secret book of Florin. These quests can all be accepted at the same time and can be found in the recurring tab of your quest log. Mythical horse materials even have their own quests, providing mythical feathers, royal ferns, and even training buffs. These quests range from handing in items to horse racing, so I suggest checking out steps into the mythical quest found in the suggested tab of your quest log. The last quest to take a look at is going to be the Celestial Horse Calling Horn from Wherever. This quest line can be found in the suggested tab, and this is a daily that you have to do for 30 Artanis Confection for the Celestial Horses tier. The Celestial Horses tiers can be used with manufacturing on the Trainer's Flute to obtain a free Celestial Horse Calling Horn. The Celestial Horse Spirit can also be bought either in the Pearl Shop, and the permanent Celestial Horse Calling Horn can be also bought from the Pearl Shop. Unfortunately, now only the Trainer's Flute can be obtained by buying it from the Pearl Shop. While this was a lot of information to take in all at once, this isn't even the most in-depth guide to training, and there's so much more information I just couldn't cover because of just how complex training can be. I hope this helps those casual and beginner trainers just looking into getting their first dream, or for those looking to get the new Lumaloft Lamp. Let me know if I missed anything with training that could help out the beginners, and let me know if you bothered awakening your own dream or mythical horses. Training can be the most confusing life skill we have, needing to worry about mastery, training experience, and even the skills for training or breeding, but even the most casual lifer like me can start the process of mythical awakening without needing to read spreadsheets. With all of that said, I think I'm going to go check out another life skill to completely update while I fish for more locations. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe, turn on all those notifications so you don't miss out on any new guides, and for those of you wanting more Black Desert content, be sure to check out my channel for more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep gathering out there, everyone.